Good evening, ladies and gentlemen again.
Good
Good evening.
Making a decision in life to make your life better. That's quite important, isn't it? But we sometimes think about it for a long time before we take action. So, how long do you take to make a decision? Sometimes it might be too late for you. Let's see what will happen about decision making in the following story. The story was written by Nathaniel Hawthorne, an American writer. And the title is The Ambitious Guest. A long, long time ago, there was a small family. They lived in the coldest and most dangerous spot in all of New England. They had built their home high up in the place called White Mountains. There, the wind blows violently all year round. Rocks roll down the mountainside and fell over their house. But this family of three, the father, the mother, and daughter, were quite happy. They enjoyed each other's company, and in addition to that, they often had visitors. Lonely travelers often stopped by. One December evening, very cold and windy, there was a knock at the door. The daughter opened the door. There stood a young man in the dark. "Please, come in." "Thank you." "Ah, the fireplace! This is what I needed." But at the time, there was a big roaring sound outside the house. The father looked out the window. That mountain once again has thrown a stone at us. But don't worry. I have made a safe hiding place outside to protect us just in case of a landslide. With the warmth of the fire and the friendliness of the family, the young traveler began to talk about himself. "I have done nothing so far. I am a nobody. If I disappeared from the earth tomorrow, nobody would remember that I had existed. But that's not what I want. I want to achieve something. I want to be famous. I want to be admired by thousands of people." The young man's words moved the father. "I have been thinking about our life here. It would be much nicer to have a little farm down in the valley. Then we would not be afraid of the rocks, and I would be respected by all my neighbors." Now the whole family was thinking deeply about their future. But suddenly, a big sound, much bigger than the previous one, shook the house. They looked out and shouted, "The rocks! The landslide!" They opened the house, opened the window, opened the door, and rushed out of the house. They ran to the safe hiding place that the father had built. Now around them, rocks were falling, but they ran. Now the whole side of the mountain came rushing toward their house, but just before it reached the house, it broke into two branches and went around the house. Everything was destroyed except the little house. The following morning, the fire was still burning. The chairs were still drawn up around the fireplace. But none of the people in the house who had run to the safe hiding place ever returned. And no one in the village ever saw them again.